Hey guys, I hope you're having a fantastic Monday. If you didn't already know, my name is Kayla Rain, and today I'm going to be doing my July book haul, and it is going to be a combination of some books that I bought towards the end of June, as well as all the books that I purchased in July. And there are quite a few. So I'll go ahead and start with the books that I purchased at the end of June, and the majority of these were purchased in Nashville when I went to go meet V.E. Schwab and I met up with Trina from Between Chapters. We went to a local used bookstore called McKay's, and I got some pretty cool books there, and I also bought one book at Parnassus Books, which is where the signing was held, and I bet you can guess what book that is, because it was for a signing for V.E. Schwab, so there aren't many options, but we'll just get right into the books. The book that I picked up at Parnassus was The Archived by Victoria Schwab, and I wanted to go ahead and purchase this because I already had A Darker Shade of Magic, which was what the signing was for, but I still wanted to purchase something to support the bookstore and the author, so I picked it up and got it signed, which was super awesome. And V.E. Schwab was so nice and funny and well spoken, and if you ever have a chance to go and see her in person and go to one of her signings or any panels that she's on, highly recommend it. She is just as awesome in person as her voice is in her books. Move on to the books that I purchased at McKay's, and I'll start off with 3 books that I got to help complete my Charlie Bone collection, which I'm trying to repurchase in hardback. I read this so long ago as a child, but this is just a series that I really enjoyed, so I wanted to own it, and I'm trying to purchase them on hardback. And these were each $2 a piece, so why not? But I got Charlie Bone and the Castle of Mirrors, Charlie Bone and the Beast, and Charlie Bone and the Hidden King. And then I got 3 more books while I was there. The first one was on recommendation from Trina, and that is The Future of Us by Jay Asher and Carolyn Mackler, and apparently this is just kind of 90s nostalgia awesomeness, and I just couldn't pass it up because as a 90s kid, granted a very young 90s kid when it was still the 90s, I like to look back on that, and I feel like I lived the 90s in the early 2000s because I lived out in the country, and yeah, we still had dial-up in AOL when I was in high school, which was not even 5 years ago. And I also picked up Sunshine by Robin McKinley, and I just knew I had to get this because I hadn't seen it in any bookstores that I had went to in my area, and it's on NPR's Top 100 Sci-Fi Fantasy books, and it's a young adult book about vampires, and I hear that it's pretty fantastic. And finally, I picked up Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendar Blake. This just seems like it's a book that is loosely based off of a Supernatural episode, and that's really all I needed. But it's about a boy ghost hunter and his mom, and they travel across the country and hunt and kill supernatural beings, and then he comes across Anna in a haunted house, and things change. And then I got a little bit comic book crazy this month. I don't know, it just kind of hit me. I went into the store to look for Nimona, and I picked that up. I read it, so that's like an imaginary haul. It's pretend it's here because I loaned it out to a friend because it was so amazing, but loved that so much that I absolutely had to get Lumberjanes, which Noelle Stevenson had a hand in writing, and she did kind of the storyline as well as other artists who contributed to the lettering and the drawing and just the overall awesomeness of this little comic book bind up. And this is, I think, 1 through 6, but this is volume 1, and it was so good. I already read it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, really loved it. It is a great, fun comic book series about friendship and just awesome kick-butt female characters. And it's written by Noelle Stevenson and Grace Ellis, illustrated by Brooke Allen, colors by Marta Leo, and letters by Aubrey Ayes? Yes. Definitely check this comic book series out if you just love female friendship and lady awesomeness. And then again, comic book craziness, I picked up volumes 1 and 2 of Rat Queens. Let's see, by Curtis J. Weeb and Rock Upchurch, I believe. And I guess Stephen Sajek on this one. But yes, these were both really good. I read them both in one sitting and loved them, and they're amazing. And this is also another one of those comic books that's just about awesome female lady types, and adventure and friendship, but also adult content, so keep that in mind. I picked up The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. Adored this movie as a child and just really wanted to see how it translated in comic book form, and it has kind of the classic illustrations that you see in the movie, except a little bit vamped up and kind of more of an artistic and comic book style rather than the style of the movie, but it's beautiful and I am very excited to read this. Okay, so a lot of people collaborated on this. It's original story by Peter S. Beagle, adaptation by Peter B. Gillis, art by Renee DeLiz, inks and color by Ray Dillon, and lettering by Robbie Robbins, Neil Urtake, Chris Mowry, and Sean Lee. So lots of people collaborated on this beautiful piece of artwork. And then finally, the books that I picked up in July, I'll just get into those. And that is You Deserve a Drink, a Boozy Misadventures and Tales of Debauchery by Mamrie Hart. I already read this, loved it, hilarious. If you watch her web show, either Mametown or You Deserve a Drink, and you like that, you will love this book because it's just a fantastic extension of both of those. It's incredibly funny. I was literally laughing out loud. Not even like a chuckle. Like, there are points in this book where I was just dying of laughter. And it also has some really great encouraging stories in there, stuff about self-esteem and lady power and just being true to yourself and having a good time. So on a deeper level, it is an awesome book as well. So just great fun. I picked up Uprooted by Naomi Novik as just kind of an impulse buy because the cover was stunning and the description was fantastic. But this is a fairy tale retelling of a couple different fairy tales from what I've heard, as well as mainly Beauty and the Beast. But it is about a girl who is taken in order to keep her village safe, so it's kind of a trade-off, and the dragon, who is actually a wizard, keeps the village safe from this evil forest because he gets to take her. And I guess it just kind of follows her story in captivity with him. I have read a little bit of this. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of it because one of the main things that I don't like when reading a book is hearing the author describe the main character over and over and over again to try to get the reader to have this particular image of them. I like using my own imagination. I like very descriptive stories, but I don't like it to be told over and over and over again because then it makes it difficult for me to form my own opinion of what the world looks like, what the characters look like. And for me, one of the real beauties of reading is being able to do that. So, the main character is continuously described as very normal, very average, not very pretty, lanky, and just she keeps mentioning it and it's really bothering me. So I am slowly getting through this. But other than that, the world's pretty nice. The storyline is okay. I'm not hating it. And I also picked up Landline by Rainbow Rowell, and I'm excited about it because I have read both of Rainbow Rowell's young adult novels. I have not read any of her adult novels, so I think this will be a good place to start. I really loved Fangirl. I thoroughly enjoyed Eleanor and Park, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna enjoy Landline too, because I feel like if you love two books that the author wrote, like, you can't go wrong picking up a different one, right? And finally, I was gifted a book from my fiance, and I'm so excited about this because he picked me up Armada by Ernest Cline. I initially wasn't going to get this right away because I was like, I just have too many books. I really don't need to just run out and get another book, because after I sat down to like write down all the books that I was going to do for this haul, I realized that I really need to get a grip on my book buying problem. It is a problem. If you have any recommendations about what you guys do to kind of limit your book buying, like the read 5 before you buy trick, and then some people only do like library hauls, some people do all-out book bans. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that because I really do love to buy books. So if you guys have any recommendations, let me know in the comment section below. That'd be so awesome because I need help. But yeah, he picked me up Armada by Ernest Cline. And this is just about a boy who plays this particular flight simulation video game, and then I think aliens come to Earth and the government actually needs to utilize him to destroy them. So it's another video game-esque book, and I don't play video games a lot, but I play enough to kind of appreciate that aspect of the book and enjoy it, so I think I am going to enjoy this. I'm not going to compare it at all to Ready Player One though, because I don't want to overhype myself and ruin a perfectly good book. That's it. I will see you guys on Wednesday when I upload my TBR for the month of August. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay weird.